Shake your money maker like somebody about to pay you. I see you on my radar, don't you act like you afraid of shit. You know I got it, if you wanna come get it, stand next to this money like, hey.
What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my Strikeforce Nashville review. Not exactly the best night for Strikeforce. I'm just going to let you guys know ahead of time. I'm not going to talk about the post-fight brawl until another video, which I'm probably going to do after this. Then I'm going to tie into the state of mixed martial arts, and I need to get some things off my chest. So that one's going to be an opinionated video. So I'll warn you ahead of time. If you don't want to hear me rant a little bit, it might not be the video for you. This one I'm going to keep pretty civil. I'm going to stay unbiased and give some informative looks at what happened during this night. Like I said, it wasn't the best night for Strikeforce. However, it still was an okay night of fights for free MMA on CBS. So, on that end of it, those fans that, hadn't seen an MMA fight before, or, you were a diehard fan that wanted to get some free MMA, you got a decent night of fights. You got 3 title fights, and overall they were pretty good. First fight of the night was King Mo Lawal taking on Gegard Mousasi. Two things about this fight. Number one, let me say this ahead of time. King Mo executed the game plan that he needed to execute. If he was going to win this fight, he would have to do exactly what he did, and that's what he did. He came out, he used some boxing, he used some head movement, and then, he waited for Mousasi to move forward, and then he caught him with a takedown. Mo's game plan, it seemed, was to try to get it down, get to a dominant position if he could, hold Mousasi there. If he could try to stop the fight or get to a more dominant position to rain some pretty good ground and pound, he was going to go for that. But overall, it looked like he just wanted to control Mousasi on the ground and look for possibly a decision, which is exactly what he did. Mousasi, unfortunately, did not look prepared for this fight. He looked a little sucked in. He looked like he didn't have good cardio. And his takedown defense has been questionable here and there. He's had okay takedown defense at 185, but even here at 205, you saw the fight with Sokoudjou. He had some problems in that fight. Sokoudjou getting it down momentarily, and in this fight having some serious issues with his takedown defense. And like I said, I don't think he really took the fight seriously. I don't think he had a good training camp as far as cardio is concerned. And really, he's been better suited at 185. I know he doesn't want to cut down to that weight class, but he's the stronger guy there. He's going to run into problems with guys like King Mo that cut down from 215 and 220 to make 205. Size and strength do play a part in fights, and technique only goes so far. We've said this about BJ Penn in the past, that you've got to come in shape, and you've got to come in motivated. Technique can only take you so far, and it's the same concept with Mousasi here, that you have to come in motivated for a fight, and unfortunately he didn't do that. Now, don't be mistaken. King Mo did not look impressive in the fight either. I mean, he did what he needed to do to win the fight, but by no means was he overly impressive. He had some cardio issues. He gassed after the first round. And as Karsten said, would he be that dude? He's not that dude. If he goes up against the likes of Rampage Jackson, the likes of Shogun, any other legitimate 205er that's in the upper echelon anywhere in mixed martial arts, he would run into serious problems. So he's not that guy. He did what he had to do, though, in this fight. He took advantage of Mousasi not coming in shape, I feel, and not coming in with a decent game plan against Mo. And King Mo wins, so congratulations to him. On to the next fight. This one I'll keep pretty short and sweet. Melendez versus Shinya Aoki. Melendez did exactly what he needed to do, which was keep the fight on the feet, use his boxing. If you're going to take a chance at the last 30 seconds of the round, which is exactly what he did. I was a little surprised that he went for some chances even in the middle of the rounds where he kind of went in for some extra ground and pound when he had Aoki on the ground. He was pretty confident. But, you can always get caught in a situation like that. So that kind of surprised me, but, he was able to do what he needed to do. Aoki, he landed some leg kicks here and there. He landed a couple, okay, combinations on his feet, and pulled guard a couple times. But, for the most part, Melendez, he did exactly what, I think most people expected him to do, which was to keep it on the feet, use his boxing, If he had a chance to stop Aoki, move in for the kill. If not, back away. Keep using your boxing. Throw a couple leg kicks here and there. And that's exactly what he did. And he goes on to win a unanimous decision. So congratulations to him. He shakes up the rankings at 155 in the lightweight division. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for Aoki. I think that this will set him back a little bit. He still definitely needs to work on his kickboxing and his boxing. It's an area that he's having some issues with, and we saw it in this fight. And it'll be interesting to see if they do make a rematch of Melendez versus Aoki in Dream. They were talking about possibly doing that after this fight. So, all right, on to the main event. Jake Shields taking on Dan Henderson. Just as a side note, before this fight had happened, and this was after I'd made my predictions video, the article came out that Henderson, had some back problems and some issues in training camp. He had a displaced disc in his back, which was causing some inflammation, and he was having to take some anti-inflammatory pills to kind of keep that down. And it apparently was hard on him in training camp and hard on him on the weight cut, so he did look a little sucked in during the fight, and even at the weigh-ins. Henderson looked okay in the first round. He looked a little tentative, kind of gun-shy with being able to pull the trigger, but then he did. He was able to drop Shields twice, tried to, get a dominant position to try to finish Shields, couldn't do so. And after that, Jake Shields was able to just get solid takedowns and get top position. The third round or the fourth round, I can't remember which one, where he had, mount for over 3.5, 4 minutes. You could have scored that a 10-8 round pretty easily, even though he wasn't even raining shots, dangerous shots from the top. One thing about Shields that I don't give him enough credit for, and, I don't know if other people don't say this, but, his takedowns, when he does secure them, he's one of the best finishers in mixed martial arts with takedowns. George St. Pierre would probably be, I would say, number one. You could put Jake Shields in the top 5. He just does such a good job of completing a takedown and turning the corner. And you could see after that first takedown that he got against Henderson, Henderson was trying to do a switch to run the pipe and move back around on Shields, but Shields wasn't having any of it. He turned his hips, swung over, and just got a beautiful transition to get to side control and then to try to get to the mount to not allow Henderson to even have an opportunity to get a switch. So, Shields did a good job in this fight. He executed what he needed to do using top control and getting into mount. People were complaining that he didn't finish the fight from the mount with some strong shots. He's never really been a finisher with strikes. He usually goes for submissions, and to be honest, Henderson has only been stopped by Nogueira and Anderson. So, but yeah, I will agree that Shields does need to work on finishing from the top and work on some punching power to try to get fight stop when he gets into that position. For Henderson, hopefully he will come out of this fight and heal up a little bit, get a little bit stronger, come in with a little bit of better cardio, a little bit bigger, because he did look a little sucked in for this fight. And we'll see how that plays out. But overall, like I said, an okay night of fights. I don't know if I said, Jake Shields pulls this out by unanimous decision. I don't know if I said that. And ends up retaining his middleweight championship. But overall, a decent night of fights, an okay night of fights. It wasn't the best show for Strikeforce, and I'll get to that part in the next video about what happened after this. Jake Shields pulled up probably what many are going to consider a very, very close, if not first or second, to the Edgar Penn upset, possibly upset of the year. You had a decent fight with Melendez, and then King Mo, pretty much doing what he needed to do to win. So overall, an okay night of fights. If you didn't get a chance to see this, check it out. I'll be back to do that video concerning the aftermath of Strikeforce, and then UFC 113 predictions probably tomorrow. So you guys, take it easy.